When I look out my window, many sights to see. And when I look in my window, so many different people to be, that it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. Must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch. When I look over my shoulder, what do you think I see? Summer cat looking over his shoulder at me, and he's strange, sure is strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch, yeah. Beatniks out to make it rich. Oh no, must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the pick up every stitch. The rabbits running in the ditch. Beatniks out to make it rich. Oh no, must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch. When I look out my window, what do you think I see? And when I look in my window, so many different people to be. It's strange, sure is strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. The rabbits running in the ditch. Oh no, must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch. Where'd I go?
Right. Hello. Happy witching hour, guys. It is High Priestess Jamila. How y'all doing? I'm over here trying to keep cool in this heat wave. ah, okay. So I didn't even know anything about this. The only reason why I know anything about this is because I'm subscribed to Super Sly, and he was talking um about how apparently there was a lawsuit that was in the Supreme Court of Oklahoma, where black people in Oklahoma were trying to get reparations. And I wanted to come and comment on that. Honestly, I don't usually talk about things like this. Um, to be honest with you, to be quite honest with you, I normally do not discuss things like this. And the reason why is because I live on the somewhere between the ninth and the 10th dimension. So honestly, it's not a real thing where racism actually affects me. People be trying to throw it at me, but it don't affect me. I don't let it. I stick with my craft and I live. You know what I'm saying? I felt like there was I don't feel like I was discriminated against in the courts of Georgia over here in the Bible Belt, but they do try a lot. They do. So uh, I wanted to talk about that real quick. The real reason, the real reason why the judge basically just dismissed the case. And I read a little bit about it before I went live. And basically, court system, a lot of the courts don't want to hear about black people's pleas for reparation because they didn't experience the slavery themselves, like not directly. Let me make sure that my stuff is right. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. So that's their argument on reparations. But I'm going to tell you the real reason why black people are being dismissed and mud thrown at them and dirt thrown at them and rotten tomatoes and why you're not being heard. And that is because black people, especially in Tulsa, Oklahoma, oh, they real religious over there. That's the Bible. That's one of the states of the Bible Belt. Okay, where they very religious. I'm gonna tell you why black people ain't gonna get nothing, and it is because they worship a God that hates them. That's why. The God of the Bible hates your black ass. Okay? To me, that God of that Bible is not the true God of the sky. There's a sky daddy, and then there's a earth daddy and mama, sky daddy and mama. And that particular God, the Christian God, don't love you. That's the God of hate. That God hates everybody, not just black people, but especially black people. That God hates all people. Okay? It's a fact. And, I mean, we can assume that all white people just live these grand lives, but we know that's not true. But even the ones that have money don't really get special favor. Having money does not mean that you're being given special favor or privilege. That was money that was established probably a long time ago, right? Wow. And I will tell you that the little bit that my mother worked for, there's a black woman trying to take that from me. So I can't, really say that white folk did it. But, going through all these changes, she got a white attorney. Well, that's why that God does not love you. That God does not love you. And y'all give your trust and your faith to that God who cursed you in the Bible and told you wasn't no damn good. Everybody, everybody born in sin. It's a sin to be alive. It's a sin to be human. It's a sin. Sin, 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 sin. Okay? That's why. That's why they were denied. That's why they were dismissed. That's why black people are going to continue to be dismissed. It's because of your religion. It's because you worship a God that does really what. Think about it. If that God really loved you, would that God have enslaved you? Would that God have enslaved you and made your life miserable to the point where you just want to be unalive? No. That God would have loved on you. That God wouldn't have never created a reality where black people would have been slaves to begin with. That Bible gives specific instructions. Slaves, be good to your masters, even when they abuse you. It says it. Have you read it? Have you read it? Oh, now you said only the dark ones. Well, no, not really. Dookie. Dookie said only the dark ones. I don't agree with that. I think it's pretty much all blacks, but I mean, it's pretty much across the board. If we're talking about color of skin, there's dark skinned Indians, there's dark skinned Koreans, there's dark skin of every nationality. Latino, they got dark skin. They got some real red Latinos. They're not always white and pasty. That God hates you. Period. It's hate. Nothing but hate. Okay? That's what that God produces. People even hate their own children. Okay? That come from that religion. Sometimes, not all, but I guess it would depend on the person. But them black people over in Oklahoma probably been praying. It happened Wednesday, apparently, of last week. Them black people was over there in Oklahoma probably praying their heads off. And then bloop, boop, bip, dismissed. You ain't get nothing. You ain't get nothing. Why not? You prayed to the wrong God. That's why. I mean, I ain't saying you gotta go pray to the devil, but find maybe a Orisha or something. And Wednesday would be Oya's day. Hell, they should have invoked Oya. They was invoking Jesus. Jesus said, and Jesus apparently wasn't there, was he? Was Jesus there? Who was it? Who was it that was there? Was Jesus hearing their prayers? I mean, it wasn't until a bunch of white people felt sorry for blacks that the slaves were even freed in America. So I don't know. But that's the real reason. And that's why it's gonna keep happening over and over again. And then I guess what are you gonna do? You're just gonna continue to get spit in the face and slapped in the damn face and slapped around, bitch slapped, foot up your ass while talking about Jesus, and Jesus ain't giving you no money. I'm gonna tell you something. Black people that are Christian, they got money. They either had to work jobs or they got lucky. Eventually, your luck is gonna run out. Luck runs out sometimes. You have to start living with logic, and then maybe your luck will increase again. Luck comes from logic, you know, and logic comes from luck. So that's why. And black people just gonna continue to pray to Jesus, and it's not gonna do you any good for something like that. Not for no money. I'm not saying that Jesus don't have no power. I told y'all I testified about Jesus. I was up at this was back before I started practicing again, and I was in Grandview, Missouri, and it was a tornado. It was a twister, and the kids' school was right around the corner from where I was living. And they said, "Don't come up here." I said, "I'm on my way." And shit, because it was like a serious thing. It was a serious tornado. And I said, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die with my kids. We're gonna die. We're gonna die together. That was before I had Jacob. All of them was up at the same school because there's stair steps. So I went up there, and as soon as I got up there, of course they let me in. Boy, they had us take cover, and them winds got to howling. And yeah, I did call to Jesus, and Jesus did lift that tornado off, right? So I'm not saying that Jesus is worthless, okay? I'm not saying that. I think Jesus wants you to expand on your spiritual knowledge. That's what I think. I don't think Jesus is a bad person. I just don't work with Jesus for money. Y'all asking for money. Why are you going to Jesus for money? Jesus was homeless. He was homeless. He was born in a manger. He was not rich. Now, if you want to talk about rich in spiritual energy and wisdom, then yeah. But he was a carpenter. He quit his job until he started his ministry, and then he pretty much lived off of the people in the ministry. He didn't, he was not a rich man. And y'all are asking for a whole bunch of money. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. Okay? Listen, it doesn't make any sense for a slave to go and ask for reparations and to be under their religion, but you're a slave, so then technically you're accepting slavery. So if you walk into a courtroom in that energy, they probably had an attorney and everything. You're going to get denied, denied, denied. Listen, according to you, you all right with slavery. You're Christian. You okay with it. It's A-okay for you. So how you going to go in and ask for reparations for slavery when you are agreeing to be a slave? You're saying it's okay, basically. Sounds like common sense to me. But this iced coffee is delicious. Mm-mm-mm. It's the truth. What else? I mean, everybody knows that I'm a Satanist. I don't give a damn about people's opinion of that. Um, But I do work with other pagan gods as well, spirits. You know what I'm saying? And people are in judgmental. Black folk are some of the most judgmental of me. I bet you that was a kick in the face being dismissed like that. You're not going to get no justice in the courtrooms to that capacity, praying to Jesus, not for that. Okay. So that's the real reason. And I don't even know how much money they was asking for, probably 500, 600 million or something. Mm-mm. Why don't y'all try to remove yourselves from the reality of post slavery? Are we still in the post slavery movement still? I didn't know that we were. Maybe we are. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just telling the damn truth about it. Okay. And I love all people, black people included. Okay. I love all people. But black people attacked me so viciously, still do. Ongoing smear campaign on the intranet, you know, pretty much those religions require you to kick the shit out of even your own family. It's just so sad. It really is very sad. So, that's the reason why. It's because of your religion. That God is, in fact, that God don't barely even like white folk. That God don't even like white people. That God don't like nobody. That God pretty much hates every damn body. Gay people, straight people, women especially. Oh God. that God that God has no respect for you as a woman whatsoever. And you're saying, you know, you're saying that you should get you Christian and you should get reparations for slavery. God, make that make sense. Whatever. Nobody wants to listen to me. I'm just, I'm the casted out. I was casted out. Okay? They casted me out and burned me at the stake. You know what I'm saying? They said, we going with Jesus, Jamila. And Jesus said, nope, give a damn about you. I'm not trying to compare myself to Jesus, but I was talking about as far as the whole thing. And so, and then they done sat around for 10, 20 years of their life working towards reparations that they're being denied when, why don't you go make your money? Well, there's not enough money to go around. Why wouldn't there be? Oh, I don't think he's ever came back. You know what I'm saying? Jesus done moved on to another galaxy, Dookie. He is out of here. He's like, you know, where Jesus is at, the ground is not dirt. It's just stardust. Just he just be walking like you never get bored. Can you imagine living in a reality where you just walk and the floor, the ground just looks like clear, starry dust, like glittery glitter, and it just sparkles, as you step on it. And it's like spirit, it's like sparkly spirit feet. And you bend down and touch it and you have spirit fingers. That's where Jesus at. So he's like, oh, they still asking for me now. He can't even hear you. He can't even hear you. He too far away. But that God hears you. come back around every once in a while and gives you the fucking middle finger. All of us. And and then people say, well, if this God doesn't love me, I don't want to be here. What? Why? You don't want to live if that one God, like, you realize that there's like millions, trillions of gods, man. It's some that we don't even know about. They stuck on that book, the good book, the Holy Bible. He is going to stay there. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? He was trying to help the people when he was here before, and they fucking crucified him for doing so. They was all possessed. And they'll call me the devil, though, and do all kind of stuff to me, and or try to. I don't live in their reality no more. We all still at me and my children and my grandchildren and my godchildren, because I got godchildren. I feel like my clients are my godchildren too, even though some of them are older than me. And then my loved ones and my family, you know, we ain't in the same reality as that. But, just to let y'all know that in y'all reality, y'all are worshiping that God that pretty much trapped you in a reality that you seem to be under mind control. Mm. And when the witches and the shamans and the people try to tell you, you shun us and you psychic attack us and tell us that we're whores and then you treat us like shit. You treat us like slaves. A lot of black people treat other black people like slaves. Because the Bible tells you so. You have no respect for yourself or your people. Until black people in that reality clear that up, they're going to always get the door closed on them. You're never going to prosper in what you're trying to do because you keep saying, give me reparations because I'm black, but yet you don't value yourself, or you don't value yourself. And that religion, that what that religion reminds me of. Have y'all ever seen that movie Truth or Dare? It's a scary movie that came on Netflix. That's what that religion reminds me of, and just religious people. They just kind of run around and fuck each other over, and they're fucking each other over. Like it's and they can't see it. They can't even fucking see it. It's so sad. That's all they do. And then they'll look to that God for love, and that God gives them no love. Because and that's why they don't give each other love. They don't give each other love. And then they wonder why. Because their reflection of what they believe God is nothing but hate. And they block out their own salvation. They block it out on purpose. Curse each other. They don't know how to watch their mouth. They always got something negative to say to one another. And this ain't just black people. I have white clients, and my white clients tell me about what they go through with their religious families. So it just like, can you put two and two together? And they want to attack the witch, tell the witch that she don't know nothing about God. How can a witch not know anything about God? Oh, because we worship the devil. Oh my God. So that's why I didn't do it. I don't have anything against black people. I don't have anything against anybody. I didn't even know anything about this whole thing in Oklahoma. I just found out looking at Super Sly. That's how I found out. I'm like, oh, so it ain't like I casted a spell and said, deny them of their reparations. So that's not, no, I would never waste my time doing that. you know, but I am pretty sure that there was black people that prayed against the reparations. I'm pretty sure they did. They knew all about it. And they said, please don't let these niggas get reparations. It's like, well, wait a minute, you a nigga too? No, they do not deserve reparations, for they are slaves and so am I. Okay. Okay, as long as you're under their religion, you're a slave. It's no different, especially black people. But every race has went through slavery at some point. It's just that a lot of that has been wiped from history, to keep up appearances. But white people been slaves before too. White people still slaves, some of them being sold, and the babies are being sold into sex slavery and labor slavery. Is slaves walking around here you wouldn't even know is a slave, and they owned by somebody, and they can't say nothing, right? In those realities where people are being human trafficked to this day in 2024. So, that's just what that is. Okay. And you see, they gave all that money to George Floyd. They gave George Floyd's people a bunch of money. And George Floyd was a criminal. He had a criminal history. Why was there a difference? I wonder what the difference was. I wonder why. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because George Floyd, that was like wrongful death. They didn't really have to take that to court. I can't remember what happened to the police officers, if they went to jail for that. That was more so the world donated that to his GoFundMe, and it raised a whole bunch of money. But if you're in a courtroom and you're looking for reparations, and your main religion is Christianity, why do you think that spirit is going to grant you with reparations when you are agreeing to be a slave? You're basically saying, you know, you're saying that it's an oxymoron. Now, maybe if they'd have walked up in the courtroom with Mammon or Satan or Lucifer or Lilith or Clonic, you know, perhaps they would have got something. But they over there, they on their hands and knees praying and saying these people did me wrong. or did my people wrong 500 or 600 years ago for enslaving us, but you're praying to the same gods that was okay with that. Okay, that's just, I mean, let me give you an example. That would be just like if I prayed to a God that condoned grape and I tried to go to court and, I prayed for months and months, paid an attorney to go to court to sue and get reparations for the grape. But I was praying to a Christian God that basically condones grape. And I walk into a courtroom. Why would I win that when I'm basically saying that it's okay to grape me? Because grape is condoned in the Bible. It's condoned in the Bible, you know? That wouldn't make any sense if I were to go to Lucifer or Satan and say, hey, somebody did something to me and I'm trying to, take them to Supreme Court. And then the situation and the energy surrounding it would be different. You know, that's just what that is. I don't know. It's a lot of black people that won't even come to my business, boy, because of that. They said, well, shit, we just gonna suffer. Right? Well, that's fine by me. Just suffer then. That's what they gonna do. That's what your life is suffering then. And that's why they suffer the little children. Like I said, I'm somewhere floating between the ninth and 10th dimension, so I don't live in the same reality as these people. I wouldn't dare. And they will try to pull you into it. We black folk is that now ain't no we black folk nothing. I'm not in the same reality and I won't and that's just what it is. And if people can't understand that, then I don't know. You have to pull yourself out of that. I don't even know why. I don't understand it. Anyway, y'all, that's pretty much all I had to say about that situation. You know what I mean? Here's the whole thing about it. You want money, and what's a slave? A slave doesn't get paid for their work. They're a slave. They may get, a little bit of something, something, but you don't get paid for that. So as a black person or somebody that has black blood in me, because I am multiracial. My parents were multiracial as well. Okay. I'm not looking for reparations. I'm not personally. I'm not looking for reparations personally because you know, I wouldn't have time. I wouldn't have time to be trying to get reparations. So, that's just what that is. And a lot of black people say, well, they gave so and so reparations. They gave so and so reparations. Mm, it ain't meant for no black person to be no Christian. That's not real. That's a falsity. That's a fallacy. That's a lie. It don't even make no sense whatsoever. Okay. So anyway, and a lot of them, they're, they won't understand what I'm saying, and I don't care. Whatever. That's pretty much what I wanted to say, y'all. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go. I'm sure there's some people that's pissed off about what I'm saying. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Okay. Blessings. Bye bye.